Good evening and welcome to November's edition of Hempfield Happenings. I'm Ben Hogan.
And I'm Jack Rule.
Over the next half hour, we will be bringing you the best stories from Lancaster County.
Such as Hempfield's cross-country team,
this year's Powder Puff game,
reactions to the new school lunches, and much more.
So stay tuned because this is Hempfield Happenings. This month, we start off by having Katie Knoll show all the fun to be had at this year's homecoming game.
The fall brings one of the most exciting events at Hempfield High School.
Homecoming.
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 We have the homecoming game, and then we have the homecoming court. Then we have the homecoming dance the next night, which is where everyone dresses up, looks really nice, and has a great time.
Well, we have a football game the day before homecoming dance, and we have a spirit week and a pep rally leading up to it.
Homecoming is very meaningful to students, but it means even more to alumni.
In high school, I think for the students, it's more about the dance, but for people that have graduated high school, it's more about coming back and catching up with friends, which is what I got to do tonight. I had a lot of fun watching the football team play and watching the band perform. It was all really great.
Homecoming is probably my favorite part of the fall because everyone's really excited and we all have a great time, and it's just a great way to boost school spirit.
Whether a student of Hempfield now or an alumni, homecoming will always hold a special place in the hearts of everyone in the Hempfield family. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Katie Knoll.
Every day, a group of elementary students work to keep their peers safe in the hallway.
We are also ready for 55 yellow and 50 pink.
For some Hempfield elementary schools, the after-school hallway traffic was difficult to control.
The lines, as I told the students, became, instead of a line, it was like a herd. And I didn't have enough teacher support to really help monitor that, so I thought, wow, I bet I could use some sixth graders as leaders and start a safety patrol to help us with this issue at the end of the day.
We had to write a letter to Dr. Martin saying why we wanted to be on safety patrol and why we would be good at that position.
I got 23 beautifully written letters that were incredibly persuasive, and I said, I have to pick them all.
The Safety Patrol is a wonderful opportunity to show leadership and to show kids who are really responsible. The little kids really look up to the 5th and 6th graders that they see here. It gives them something to look forward to when they get to be in 5th and 6th grade. So it's a great example of how to be a good, responsible leader for our school.
It's nice to know that they're watching us and they're following what we do, so they know the right way to act in class and at home.
I really see kids develop confidence from being a leader in Safety Patrol. It's neat to see someone who might be a little bit shy be able to remind their peers that they need to follow the rules.
They have to be responsible, and they can't just mess around the whole time. They have to actually do work.
I think a Safety Patrol leader is responsible enough to do what they're supposed to do, even when no one is standing right beside them watching them.
Responsible, respectful, hardworking.
And show other people the right way to be.
I just think it's a stepping stone for them. It's an excellent opportunity to begin their leadership roles and see themselves as leaders and have other students see them in a leadership role. So when they get to middle school and high school, it can open the doors for them and they'll have some experience in a leadership role.
Safety Patrol gives students the opportunity to be leaders by stepping out of their comfort zone and keeping the hallways safe. For Hempfield Happenings from Roarstown Elementary School, I'm Sarah Moser.
This year, District 3 is posting their power rankings in a different way. Alex Weaver takes a look on the reasoning behind this change.
District 3 is doing something unique with their power rankings.
There's 3 levels of competition. You have the league, the district, and the state. For districts, there's a power rating system that's used to rank 1 through 16 for the district tournament. It's a formula that uses both the strength of your schedule and your wins and losses.
This year, for the first time, the power rankings will be posted online.
First 4 years of the power rankings, what we did was produce Word documents and PDFs periodically for people to see the power rankings. We thought it might be better for the schools, for the public, for anyone to see them 24/7.
If you go to PIAA District3.org, it's a website that covers all the sports in District 3. They have something called a fan page, and if you click on the fan page, you'll get the current power ratings.
I'm glad to see that the power rankings are now online because before I would have to search through the newspapers to find the scores, and now I have easy access to it.
So throw away the newspapers and get on a computer, because the District 3 power rankings are online. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Alex Weaver.
Cross country finished a strong season. Elizabeth Beerley tagged along to see how this strong group of students ran.
The Hempfield girls cross country team attempted a four-peat at the league championship this year. Prior to leagues, Coach Newman was optimistic about the potential of the team.
The girls are attempting to win the Lancaster-Lebanon League meet, where all 21 teams, or other 22 teams, get together and run at the same time in the same race. For the 4th straight year. They're 3-time defending champions. It's interesting because all 4 years now that we've been going for this, we won for the first time 4 years ago now, and it was very unexpected. We thought it was possible, but it was, to be sure, an upset when we won. And then the previous 2 years that we won, the team culture was sort of different because we had sort of an expectation of winning. And this year, some of the girls who were sort of part of that original championship team, most of them are gone. And so we only have 2 girls left who were freshmen at the time.
This is where it really counts, especially for the seniors.
And so each year the teams sort of have to develop their own culture and their own atmosphere of expectation of success. So I think that's the sort of difference between the previous 3 years and this year, is that we just have so many new faces now that weren't a part of the original championship.
I think there's a lot of pressure and everybody really, really wants it. So I think that this whole season, that's what we've been really working towards, and we're really pushing ourselves for it. And if we do get it, I think it's going to push us to just keep going after it year after year.
So the girls finished 18-3. Two of those meets, we held some of our varsity runners out, which gave an opportunity for some other runners to step up, as several actually did. So that was wonderful to see. But they placed second at Penn State, which is a really big invitational. And they've continued to develop.
It's really a strong, close team. It seems to be more about like the friendships and the connections that you build than just the medals that we're getting.
I think it would mean a lot to a lot of the girls. It's not that it would be a four-peat. I think for some of them that's important, but I think ultimately it's about fulfilling their potential. And I think the potential of this team is pretty high.
At the league meet on October 20th, the girls encountered some tough competition.
We came out in second, but I honestly couldn't, I'm not upset at all because I know that everyone gave it their all, and that's all you can really ask for in a big meet like this.
I know we weren't necessarily happy with the outcome, but honestly I don't think there's anything to be sad about because everybody just gave it their all out there and we worked so hard, like I said, and there's really nothing to be sad about. So I think it's a really great team and everybody should be really pleased with how we did. Postseason's definitely, I'd say, the best time of the year. We get together every day, so it's a smaller group now, and I'm really excited to go to districts together and use these last few weeks together to train extra hard and really finish strong.
So for the district meet, your team either has to have a 500 record, which our girls did this year, finishing 18-3, or you can qualify as an individual based on time. And so we have a full team that qualified as a team, but also as individuals. And then for the state meet, it's much more difficult. You have to be one of the top 4 teams in districts, or one of the next 20 individuals not on one of those 4 teams.
We just have such a talented group of girls, and even with seniors graduating, we'll definitely have juniors and sophomores and freshmen come up and take those roles and really show some great leadership qualities.
So congratulations to the girls for running so well at leagues, and we're looking forward to great things in the upcoming stages of postseason. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Elizabeth Beerley.
The Ice Cream Social program is a fun way for students to get rewarded for their hard work.
Centerville Middle School is initiating a new behavior program and rewarding students with Italian ice.
This is about behavior for a student that does an extraordinary deed. So we want to reward those kids to hopefully spur other kids on to want to do the right thing.
Well, you had to behave and make responsible decisions, be safe, and show respect. And if the teachers saw that, they gave you one. We got to go out and have some fun for behaving, so it's kind of like an influence.
You're so pro, thank you.
You know, not everybody understands when we say be safe out there, what that means. And so with this program, we kind of really specify what it is that safe behavior looks like. And the idea of this program really is to make students understand a little bit more what it looks like, what are the behaviors that we're looking for. So when we look at those areas, we can identify, and if I see a student that's really doing something, we give them a high five. So those positive things create a great community, and that's what we're after.
The new behavior program at CMS is helping kids chill out. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm MJ Alfonso.
The Superfriends program at Centerville Elementary School showed that not all superheroes wear capes.
Okay, boys and girls, we're going to choose our CES Superfriend of the day.
There is a new program at Centerville Elementary.
Our Superfriends program is for classrooms from kindergarten up until 3rd grade. And it's a program to help promote students to be kind to one another, to reach out and help any students here at our school. An idea that came up was to have a program where students are encouraged to practice more positive social skills.
Last year I was one of the Bullying Education Committee members, and our first meeting we were just talking about just things that we wanted to do differently as far as being proactive towards bullying, and then that's where we came up with using the bucket filler book.
We reviewed bucket filling, how to be a bucket filler, and we read the book, Have You Filled a Bucket Today? And then that is kind of a tie-in to Super Friends, the more bucket filling that we practice each and every day, filling someone's invisible bucket full of kind words, actions.
Being a bucket filler is just the idea that everyone in the world has an invisible bucket that they carry around with them, and their bucket holds their good thoughts and good feelings about themselves. And people can either be bucket fillers and make people feel good, or people can sometimes be bucket dippers and make people feel bad.
Most of our classrooms actually have a real bucket in their classroom with little papers that students are encouraged to fill out a paper either for themselves if they filled someone else's bucket, or a paper for if someone filled their bucket or they saw someone filling someone's bucket. They fill out a little recognition paper and put it in their classroom bucket. And a lot of teachers use that as a way to monitor who's being a really great super friend for that month. And then that might be the student that is recognized at our assemblies.
I asked the Super Friends of October what their idea of a super friend is.
A super friend to me is someone who is being nice. Someone that's nice to you every day, and it's probably you play with him or your friend.
What's more of a really cool thing to see is at our assemblies, the students are really proud of and cheer on their classmates who are being recognized.
Alex is our super friend of the day. Congratulations.
I think we're definitely going to continue it, just continue to recognize and encourage students to continue to practice those positive social interactions.
So remember to always be a bucket filler and not a bucket dipper. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Jason Furlong.
The school lunch has had a big change this year. Dalton Benedict looked at the differences and asked how students felt about them.
This year, the Hempfield School District decided to leave the National School Lunch Program. I spoke with some of Hempfield's food service staff about the menu changes this year.
We were able to bring back some of the regular breaded chicken, so it wasn't all whole grain.
We're featuring more homemade soups, moving away from the condensed prepackaged soups to more homemade soups. Tweaking a lot of our recipes that we have not been able to do that because of the new mandates.
Just being able to have a little bit more leverage, like being able to add whole milk versus all skim milk or fat-free milk.
Still offering a large fresh selection of fruits, vegetables.
Just flavors, being able to add a little salt to our product. We don't have the restrictions that we had with the sodium levels. So it's been a really good mix for us.
And we're just still in the beginning of tweaking this program, so to speak, and trying to make it better.
We're seeing more and more students coming and buying lunch, and they seem happier.
And then I was actually talking to one of the custodial staff, and they had mentioned that during the freshman lunch period last year, they were going about 6 bags, and then this year he's around 3 bags. So definitely the waste is down that we're seeing so far.
I asked students for their opinions on the lunches this year.
They're better, but they're also more expensive.
On days they have chicken, their backup should not also be chicken.
One thing I noticed was new was today's lunch actually. The chicken and the tortilla wrap is really nice. It's a wonderful combination.
Hempfield's food services remain committed to serving the students of the district. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Dalton Benedict.
The National Chorus has assembled. Laurel Murr went to discover just what the students have to sing about.
Hempfield High School has the honor of sending 4 students to a National Choir Festival in Nashville, Tennessee.
The requirements for being included in the National Chorus involves going through a county level, a district level, a regional level, and then finally to the all-state chorus level in Pennsylvania. Well, and that's what our students did. They qualified for all states last year, and afterwards they were eligible to submit an audition tape to go on to the national level. The best singers from all over the country will participate in 3 days of intensive rehearsals with a guest conductor, and then they'll perform a concert on the last day of the convention that's going on at the same time in the Grand Ole Opry. The chorus has 350 voices in it. There are 32 students representing Pennsylvania, and we have 4 from Hempfield. It's Christopher Lynch is our bass 1 baritone voice. In the alto section, we have Katie Weaver and Rachel Raboyne. Those 3 are seniors. And then in the soprano section, we have Marissa Sterner.
After I made states, we got this paper in the all-state folder, which was about nationals, and it was saying the day when you can audition and like the requirements. And I thought, why not try it? Like, I was kind of picturing it, but it's one of those things that you think about doing it and you're like, oh, that'd be great if I could do it, but I probably won't get it. As I'm embarking on these music festivals, like, I've really realized that I have a passion for singing, and it's cool to be able to express that. I'm excited personally to meet a bunch of people from all over the country. That really hasn't sunk in yet. Like, the person I'm standing next to could be from California. It just is really interesting to think about, like, and that we're all there for one common thing, which is music.
I've been to Nashville before when my sister made nationals, so I'm excited to go back again. And there are a lot of people that we met at other festivals that we're going to get to go to nationals and see them as well, so it's going to be a really great time.
I feel very honored to have made it this far and to be able to perform on the Grand Ole Opry stage. So many really amazing people have performed there, and now we're going to get to perform there.
We have to learn 5 pieces for nationals, and 2 of them are very easy and the other 3 are pretty difficult. I am so honored to be accepted to nationals because it's not something that you hear of a lot happening here in Lancaster, and it's such an experience. Whether I'm going into music or not, it's such a great experience to meet musicians from around the nation and learn about what they do.
Congratulations to these 4 students for having the honor of representing Hempfield at the National Chorus Festival. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Laurel Murr.
A very popular event at Hempfield is the annual Powder Puff Game. Junior and senior girls showed off their football talents.
On October 14th, lots of juniors and seniors participated in the annual Powder Puff game here at Hempfield.
Powder Puff's a game you don't ever see being played, and I know some schools don't do it because not enough girls play, and I'm just so happy that everyone comes out and plays.
I spoke with one of the coaches who is also a new teacher at the high school.
It's interesting seeing how the girls react in school, and then once they're out in the grass, it's like wild and crazy and they just have fun. So it's just to see them outside of a school setting, it's really great. They're a fun group.
The senior girls were very excited about the win.
It was a great game, it really was. I'm really happy about how we played and how everyone played. It's a pretty fair game.
Whether it's at the game or working hard at practice, Hempfield Powder Puff is always playing as a team. From Hempfield Happenings, I'm Michaela Quinn.
This year, Hempfield got a new business manager, Mrs. Pursel. She sat down with Jackie Nikoloff to talk about her new position.
Hello, my name is Jackie Nikoloff, and I'm here with Hempfield's new business manager, Mrs. Pursel. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Pursel.
Very nice to meet you, Jackie.
So to start off, what does a business manager do?
What does a business manager do? Basically, the business manager is responsible for all the financial activities of the school district, down the budget, the annual audit, helping all the departments within the school manage, their department money and all the purchases, that kind of thing.
Before coming and being Hempfield's business manager, where did you work?
Well, I am a CPA. I've been most of my career in public accounting, so actually Trout, Ebersol, and Groff, a lot of local Lancaster companies. Well, most recently I was Pequot Valley's assistant business manager, but I've always done accounting work, so that gave me a pretty good background to come into a school district.
Awesome. And how's your transition been?
Oh, this is a phenomenal team. Pequot Valley is very small, but was a really good starting out in school business kind of opportunity. Coming to Hempfield, really big school. Great time to come in with a transition with Dr. Adams starting as superintendent, Mike Bermersky coming in as the assistant superintendent. There's just a lot of great dynamic, a lot of great energy here. I have a great business office.
That's good to hear. And in what ways do you hope to influence the school's budget this year?
It will be nice if we actually get a budget from the state. I think we're on day 111 with no budget running from the state level. So at this point, we're sort of flying blind. We don't know exactly what the new governor has a lot of initiatives he would like to see. It'll be interesting to see what's actually passed, and then we can go from there into the 16-17 budget year.
Mm-hmm. And so outside of being our district's business manager, what do you like to do?
Well, I have 2 kids and 2 dogs, and they all keep me pretty busy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much, I like to cook.
That's great. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you very much, Jackie. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Mary Ressler, a reading specialist at Centerville Middle School, has won a prestigious award. She sat down with Kayla Torres and talked about this great achievement.
Mrs. Ressler, a reading specialist at Centerville Middle School, has found a way to incorporate technology into her classroom to enhance her students' learning.
I'm a reading specialist for 7th and 8th grade, and we teach literacy, and that encompasses fluency, comprehension, phonics, and we've been beginning to embed that with a lot of technology.
Mrs. Ressler recently won an award for her outstanding teaching techniques.
The award I won is for the National Council of Teaching English, and basically I created multi-sensory literacy instruction for kinesthetic learners. So I created units. I have over a couple hundred of them on integrating different visuals and videos into the lessons for these learners.
Her students explain how she incorporates technology into their classroom every day.
We learn about how to use PowerPoints for our book talks, where we talk about the book that we have read, and she lets us do PowerPoints and iMovies. So she incorporates technology in many different ways.
She just projects the Do Now on a projector every morning using her computer.
We do a lot of Study Island on the computers. We're going to get an iPad from the library, and we're going to use iMovie to shoot, film, and direct all that and edit using iMovie.
She uses her computer to project PowerPoints up to the white screen.
Normally there's technology in almost every day.
She's a really nice, outgoing teacher. She's really patient with us. If we do something wrong, she'll tell us what we're doing wrong and tells us how to fix it.
She's very fun, enthusiastic, and we love to read there.
She's a really good teacher and an overall person.
Congrats to Mary Ressler for winning this prestigious award. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Kayla Torres.
Last month, a tornado touched down in Lancaster County. Ben Hogan discovered the effects of its devastation.
On September 29th, a tornado came through East Hempfield Township. Residents are blown away by the damages.
I heard a terrible sound outside, so I got up and went to the window and didn't even stop to really get a good look out the window, just recognized that something unnatural was happening. And now we know what that sound was the warehouse being blown out and the Lime Spring Farm being blown down. There were pieces of the warehouse in our flower beds.
This warehouse was one of the hardest hit buildings. One of its owners, Dan Berger, spoke of what he experienced.
I actually received a phone call from our security company that they were receiving trouble signals on the alarm system. And so I actually went out to the building a little before, about 1 o'clock in the morning, only to find the fire department and the police there and to be informed that about a third of the roof of the building had been torn off.
When it was over and we opened the front door and we looked outside.
Total devastation.
Without a doubt.
But it was just insane. We had, I think, a lot of trees, 50, 75 trees down in our yard. And that's a struggle for me because, you know, when you could rebuild a house, you could put new siding on, replace a window. It's really difficult to replace 75 years of trees.
So really, we were very fortunate on two fronts that no one within the building or no one driving by suffered any damage as a result of that. You know, it's one of those things that hopefully it's a once-in-a-lifetime situation.
Cleanup efforts may be coming to a close, but that night will be remembered by Hempfield's residents for years to come. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Ben Hogan.
Well, unfortunately, it is our time to end the show.
We'd like to thank you for tuning in this month. In our December show, we will be answering the question of where are they now, as we update you on the lives of important Hempfield students as well as some alumni.
We hope to see you again for the next episode. From Hempfield Happenings, have a good month.